Listen to me closely. Pain is not random. Struggle is not meaningless. Every tear you've cried, every sleepless night, every season where you wondered if God forgot about you, it's all connected to something bigger than you. The enemy does not fight what does not threaten them. If you've been under attack, if your life has felt like one battle after another, it's because you carry something so dangerous, so powerful, so heaven-sent that hell had to try to stop you. Your pain is not punishment, it is proof that there is an anointing on your life that the enemy feels. You see, diamonds are not made in comfort, they're forged under pressure. Gold is not found sitting on the surface. It's pulled out of deep, dark places and refined by fire. And so are you. The pain you've been feeling is not here to destroy you. It's here to develop you. Every wound, every disappointment, every betrayal, it's shaping you into someone the kingdom needs and the enemy dreads. Have you ever stopped and wondered why life has been hitting you so hard lately? Why every time you try to move forward, something seems to push you back? Why your battles feel bigger than everyone else's? Let me tell you something that will shake your perspective. Pain is not a random event. Pain is an indicator. It's a flashing signal that there is something on your life so significant that hell itself is trying to stop you from reaching it. You think those sleepless nights were for nothing? You think those tears fell without purpose? Whereas every tear has been watering the ground for something greater. You see, the enemy does not waste his time on people who are going nowhere. He doesn't target the average. He doesn't throw darts at those who have no influence, no assignment, no calling. He saves his fiercest attacks for those who are carrying something dangerous to his kingdom. That's you. That's why you've been under fire. Your pain is the enemy's proof that you are carrying something worth fighting for. Think about it. When you see a safe with thick steel doors and multiple locks, what does that tell you? That what's inside is valuable. The level of protection around something reveals its worth. In the same way, the level of attack you face reveals the level of purpose on your life. If you've been going through battles that feel relentless, if you've been carrying a weight that seems unbearable, it's because you're not ordinary. Ordinary people don't get this kind of warfare. The extraordinary do. And you, whether you see it or not, are extraordinary. Your pain is not just pain, it's prophecy. It's speaking to your future. It's saying there's something on your life so powerful, so unique, so world-shifting that it had to come with a fight. If you weren't destined to shake the earth, you wouldn't be facing this kind of resistance. The storm around you is not about where you've been, it's about where you're going. That's why you've been feeling the heat. That's why you've been walking through the fire. Because the higher the calling, the hotter the furnace. So the next time you find yourself asking, why me? Why all this pain? Why does it feel like I can't catch a break? Shift your perspective. It's not why me. It's of course me. Of course the enemy is coming for me. I'm carrying destiny. Of course the pressure is heavy. What's inside me is priceless. Of course the battle is intense. My victory is going to change lives. The finest oil, the purest essence, does not come easily. It comes from pressure, from squeezing, from being broken down so that what is hidden inside can be brought out. And that's what life has been doing to you. Every trial, every hardship, every moment you felt like you were being squeezed beyond your limit was actually preparation. It was the press producing the oil. Because what you carry is too precious to be wasted, too powerful to stay locked inside of you. It takes crushing to release it. Think about this. When olives are harvested, they look beautiful on the outside, but no one eats them that way. Their true value is not in the shape you see, but in what comes out after they've been crushed. The oil is what gives them purpose. And the same is true for you. Your true purpose, your real influence, your unstoppable power will not show up in comfort. It shows up under pressure. The version of you that will change the world is being birthed through the pain you thought would break you. Maybe right now you feel like everything in your life is pressing in at once. Financial struggles, health battles, relationships breaking, doors closing, and you've been saying, God, why is this happening to me? But what if the crushing is not punishment, it's positioning? What if the pressure is proof that you are being prepared for something so much greater than where you are right now? Because oil doesn't just appear, it flows after the crushing. And the greater the calling, the greater the crushing required to release it. Do you know why some people can live ordinary lives without much struggle? Because they're not carrying what you're carrying. They don't need the pressing because there's nothing in them that threatens hell. But you have something inside of you that the world needs. You have something inside of you that will set people free, that will bring light into darkness, that will break chains. And because of that, you had to go through the crushing. Without the pressure, the oil would stay locked inside and the world would never experience what you carry. So when you feel that weight, when you feel life squeezing you, when you feel like you can't take another hit, remember this. The pressure is not random. It's intentional. It's extracting something from you that can't come out any other way. You've been saying, I'm breaking, but the truth is you're pouring. The oil is coming out. The power is being released. The crushing is creating a flow that will bless generations. Have you ever noticed that the greatest treasures are never formed in easy conditions? Diamonds are not created in comfort. They are formed under pressure. Gold is not found shining on the surface. It is dug out of the earth and refined in fire. Pressure is not your enemy. It is your evidence. Evidence that something valuable is being produced in you. The pressure you feel right now is shaping you for power you have not yet seen. Pressure prepares you for power. It doesn't just happen, it serves a purpose. Every challenge, every weight, every season where you feel squeezed beyond what you thought you could handle is a divine setup to make you stronger, sharper, and unshakable. The reason you feel stretched is because you're growing. The reason it feels like life has you in a tight grip is because you are being molded into the version of yourself that can handle what's coming. Think about a seed. Before it can grow into a tree, it is buried deep in the dark, surrounded by soil, under immense pressure from the earth. If you looked at it in that moment, you might think it was forgotten, hidden, even dead. But that pressure is not the end, it's the beginning. That pressure activates what's inside the seed. And the same thing is happening with you. The darkness, the weight, the pressure, it's activating something in you that ease and comfort never could. You've been asking, why does it feel so hard? Why does it seem like everything is pushing against me? Because pressure is proof of preparation. You are not stuck. You are being stretched. Stretched for influence. Stretched for capacity. Stretched for the next level that requires more strength, more faith, and more endurance than you've ever needed before. Power is never given to those who avoid pressure. It is entrusted to those who endure it. Pressure exposes what you really believe. It strips away the shallow confidence you had in yourself and forces you to lean into something greater. It makes you dig deeper, push harder, and find strength you didn't know you had. That's why it hurts. That's why it feels uncomfortable. Because it's pulling something out of you that's been hidden beneath the surface for too long. Look at an athlete preparing for a championship. Do they train in comfort? No. They push their bodies to the limit. They run until their lungs burn. They lift until their muscles shake because they know the pressure of training is what gives them the power to win. Life is doing the same thing with you. Every trial, every test, every season where you felt like you couldn't take any more, that was your training ground. That was pressure turning you into a champion. The truth is, some people pray for power, but run from pressure. They want influence without endurance. They want authority without adversity. But it doesn't work like that. You can't carry heavy blessings with weak shoulders. You need strength. You need stability. You need weight training for the soul, and that's what pressure gives you. Have you ever paid attention to what happens right before a breakthrough? The attacks get heavier. The battles feel more intense. The resistance seems relentless. Do you know why? Because attacks are not random. They are announcement. Every attack is a loud declaration that something great is on the way. The enemy does not waste his energy on what doesn't matter. He only targets what threatens him. So if you feel like you've been under constant fire, that's because your assignment is too big to ignore. The moment you start moving toward your destiny, everything in hell takes notice. The enemy sees what you're about to become before you even fully realize it. That's why the pressure has been increasing. That's why doors seem to close all at once. That's why you've had nights where you felt like giving up, mornings where you wondered if you could keep going. The attack is not because you're weak, it's because you're dangerous. Dangerous to darkness. Dangerous to every force that tried to keep you bound. Let me tell you something. Ordinary people do not experience extraordinary warfare. If your life seems like a battlefield, it's because you are not average. You are chosen. And chosen people come with a cost. You're not just chosen to exist, you're chosen to shake things up, to break chains, to open doors for others. But before that happens, you will be tested. And that test often comes in the form of attacks that make you question everything you believe. Think about it. When Jesus was about to step into his public ministry, what happened first? He was led into the wilderness and tempted. When David was anointed king, what happened next? He spent years running for his life. When Joseph dreamed of greatness, what happened after? He was thrown into a pit and sold as a slave. Why? Because the enemy always fights what he fears. He fears what you carry. He fears what you're about to release. So he tries to discourage you before you discover who you are. Maybe that's where you are right now. You've been feeling like everything is against you, people turning on you, opportunities falling through, doors slamming shut. And the enemy whispers, see, you're not called, you're not chosen, you're not strong enough. But that's a lie. The attack is not evidence of weakness, it's evidence of worth. It's proof that something powerful is inside you and the enemy is trying to stop it before it starts. Every attack is an announcement. It's saying, they're close, they're stepping into something big. Stop them before they get there. The size of your battle reveals the size of your blessing. The intensity of the fight tells you how significant your future is. If the attack feels overwhelming, it's because what you're about to walk into will change everything. And here's the part that makes it even more powerful. What the enemy sends to break you often becomes the very thing that makes you, every arrow thrown at you becomes material for your testimony. Every giant that stood against you becomes the platform you stand on. Every storm sent to sink you becomes the wind that pushes you to the next level. There's something about breaking that most people never understand. We've been taught to see breaking as the end, as failure, as the proof that we couldn't handle the weight. But what if breaking is not the end? What if breaking is the very beginning of becoming? The truth is, the greatest versions of you are born out of the moments you thought would kill you. Breaking is not your burial, it's your birthing. When a seed is planted in the ground, the first thing that happens is it breaks. It doesn't stay whole. It doesn't remain intact. The outer shell has to crack open for life to come forth. If that seed could speak, it would probably say, I feel like I'm being destroyed. But in reality, it's being developed. The breaking is the process that activates the potential inside. And that's exactly what's happening to you. The things that broke you, the heartbreak, the betrayal, the loss, they weren't meant to end you. They were the tools to release the greatness locked inside of you. Let that sink in. Without breaking, there is no birthing. Without breaking, you remain in the shell of who you were. But the call on your life is too big for you to stay in that shell. The pain you felt wasn't punishment. It was the pressure to push you into purpose. Breaking is uncomfortable. It hurts. It leaves scars. But those scars are proof that something new has been born from your struggle. Think about it like this. When a mother gives birth, there is pain before the baby comes. There are contractions, pressure, and moments when she feels like she can't take it anymore. But those pains are not a sign that something is wrong. They are the sign that something is about to come forth. That's what breaking feels like in your life. Everything seems like it's falling apart, but in reality, something greater is coming together. Some of the most powerful things in life only happen through breaking. Grapes must be crushed to make wine. Olives must be pressed to release oil. Even the bread we eat is broken before it's served. The breaking doesn't destroy the value, it reveals it. The value is inside. And the same is true for you. You are full of value, full of purpose, full of gifts that can change lives. But those gifts don't show up in easy seasons. They come out in the breaking season. Maybe you've been through moments that shattered your heart. Maybe you've had friendships end without explanation, dreams that died before they had a chance to live, doors slammed in your face that you prayed would open, and it broke you. You felt like you were done. But what you didn't see in that moment was that breaking was birthing something better. It was making room for something greater than what you lost. It was clearing the space for the new season God had already prepared for you. Here's the truth. Your breaking did not disqualify you. It equipped you. It gave you compassion you never had before. It gave you strength you didn't know you needed. It gave you wisdom that no classroom could teach you. You are not the same person you were before the breaking. You are stronger. You are deeper. You are more dangerous to the enemy than you've ever been. Pain feels permanent when you're in it. When the nights are long, when the weight feels heavy, when the answers don't seem to come, it can feel like this season will never end. But let me remind you of something that will change how you see your struggle. Pain is temporary, but purpose is eternal. What you're feeling right now is not forever. The tears, the heartbreak, the disappointment, they have an expiration date. But what you gain from this pain will last for the rest of your life. Scars tell stories. They are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you survived what was sent to destroy you. Every scar you carry is evidence of your strength. You didn't break when you could have. You didn't quit when you wanted to. You didn't surrender when the battle was fiercest. That alone speaks louder than the pain you endured. Scars remind you that pain may visit, but it cannot stay. And when it leaves behind wisdom, strength, and resilience that nothing else can teach you. Think about this. Storms never last forever. They may rage fiercely for a while, but eventually the clouds part, the rain stops, and the sun shines again. The same is true for the storm you're in right. Like it feels intense, it feels endless, but there will be a day when you look back and realize that what once broke you now built you. That what once felt like the end became the foundation for your new beginning. Pain shapes perspective like nothing else can. The lessons you learn in suffering will serve you for the rest of your life. The strength you gain in the valley will prepare you for the mountaintop. That's why pain is never wasted. It's an investment into your future. It's adding layers to your character, depth to your faith, and power to your voice. There are things you can only carry into your destiny because of what you endured in your history. When you look at people who carry true authority, people who move with power, people who influence others in a way that shakes the atmosphere, you'll notice one thing: they've been through something. They didn't get there without